Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Palworld. There's been a massive update and I wanted to talk about everything that's happened while also showing you in the game. So first and foremost, global PALBOX. I'm going to look at this towards the end of the video because I want to get all the other stuff out of the way first, but there is a lot of stuff in this update which, you know, is definitely going to make the game a lot more, or have a better quality of life, let's say. And to me, this game needs it, at least up till, you know, they release a new DLC or something. Ooh, look at all that. I'm getting loads of achievements for stuff on PC. So I forgot what I was saying now. There's too many things happening at once. I'm scared. There's too much stuff. Hello, Xeno Lords. Gonna start making big. So first and foremost, they've added full screen to the options here. I prefer borderless no matter what, but you know, we'll load it up and we'll see what goes on with that. Okay, so the issue I have with full screen now is that I cannot put it onto the monitor that I usually play on. So I have two monitors, left and right. I usually put it on the left hand one. Full screen keeps it locked to the right hand side. So even though I can sit here and record, I cannot move or change the monitor that it is on for full screen, which is extremely frustrating. That is a problem. If you're gonna have full screen, you should also have an option to be able to swap monitors. So I'm going back to borderless. I will say as well, since this update, I've noticed a discernible change in my frame rate in my base, because obviously this is a base packed with a lot of pals and a lot of things going on. It never ran at smooth 60 frames per second, but now I feel like I'm like slow and lagging. So maybe something's happened with some of the graphic settings to do with something, but for the most part it's still running fairly like it should. But I've noticed a bit of a change. I've just realized everything from my inventory is gone. Great, that must be a bug. I'll check my stuff later. Right, the next thing I wanted to show off was the photo mode. So if you press your wheel to come up, which is 4 on PC, and go to photo mode, you can see that it pretty much has a good, I think it's a free range almost. So you got all the way up till here is when it stops. You know, you got like a whole big circle around your character that you can pretty much take pictures of anything. So if we go over to here to my Bushi, I can hide the UI, and this for me is great for thumbnails because I can take good pictures of pals now rather than scrap some on the internet or try to stand to the side of a pal while capturing them on the thumbnail. Like, so that is really good. Obviously you can go up and down as well. Is there a limit on the roof? Yeah, so I can go up to my 3rd story base. So that's pretty cool. There's a lot to work with here, so you know, exciting to see what people do with photo mode, to be fair. So next up, I wanted to show you the new stuff in the PALBOX management. So you can see that over here, I now have access to all of my pals and I can favorite them in different ways. So you can see these lambs have a padlock with a 2 on, and these pals down here have a padlock with 3 on them. I've already got some, like my main characters here, that have the 1 on them, but you can go into your sorting, you can press your favorites and then get access to all your main pals, for instance, like the ones you use in your fighting team, the ones you use for, you know, flying around and stuff. I'm currently got them for breeding, so this is why I've got mine marked here. Then we can go back in and we can sort the second lot of favorites, and you get my little lamb balls that I just added. And then obviously as well with the 3rd set of favorites, you can see that all of these now pop up. So it's very good to have different kind of systems here for favorites, because I'm going to probably go through and favorite all the things that I need for specific things, and that for me is pretty cool. Also as well, the wandering merchants, their little symbols change, so you know they've actually got something, and I hear they've got animations as well for when they do specific things, so that's pretty cool as well. Also in the sorting, we have work suitability level. This is fantastic. I love this because when you sort it, it gives you the pals that have the best things that you need for a base. So obviously Blazamut Ryu, you got 4 fire and 4 for mining. We've got Jormuntide Ignis, which is also 4 for fire. Then we got the 4 for Ozerks. You know, I didn't even realize I had Selines ready to go, but I'm definitely going to put these in my base next to my Anubises, and it's just a great way to kind of get through everything fast and see the pals that you need. And you know, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I'm very excited about that. Next up, we have cosmetics. So if we go over to an antique dresser, you can now see that you can change your appearance, and this for me is incredible because you unlock all these things from killing all the bosses on hard and stuff, but you never get to use them because it replaces your helmet. However, now you can literally have the helmet on while running around, but you still keep your initial helmet with all the defense and stuff on that you need. So I am very much happy with that because I've always wanted to run around with this Xeno Lord head. And then there's also body stuff as well. So, you know, if you like a specific armor type, you know, like the plasteel armor is my favorite because it's purple. And then you can also change like your glider and stuff. Now, I don't know why I don't have more skins for specific things, but maybe I just need to create some stuff and unlock them for this since this update, because I know that I've definitely got a lot more stuff than that. But this is my new look now, and it looks pretty goddamn cool. So, new technology. If we go over here to the ancient side of stuff here, the ancient technology, we have access to the dimensional PAL storage. It costs ingot, palladium fragment, and ancient civilization parts to make, and 2 points to unlock. On top of that as well, at 45 for the technology, we have access to the drafting table, which we're also going to look at. So let's build both of those. We go to PAL over here, and we got dimensional. Oh wow, it's actually a lot taller than I thought it would be. Come on everybody, build it up, build it up. So what this typically is for is a kind of private PALBOX. So if you install this into other bases, you will get access to these PALs that you throw into them, much like the PALBOX does as well, except obviously you need a PALBOX to be able to start creating a base. So you're better off having, you know, things that you need in here, and then everything that you don't need, like things that have been birthed through eggs, you can throw into here. And there's more than enough space, because you can see that there is 320 pages available for you to have PALs. And if you're playing on like a co-op server and stuff, you can make this public so that other people can come in and use your PALs, which is also really good. I just play on my own, so it doesn't bother me too much, but this is definitely something worth having in your base, in my opinion, just in general, so you can just store in different PALs. So next up we have the drafting table, which in my opinion is the best part of this update, because it just makes everything a lot easier and a lot more. There's stuff now to chase, because I had a whole bunch of recipes that were taking up so much space, so I threw them all out because I thought I'll never need them. But what they've done now is they have allowed you to progress through schematics by using other schematics. So for instance, if I was to have 5 old bow schematic 1s, I can then use those to create an old bow schematic 2, so then I'm getting the rare version of it. Then if I have, you know, 5 of the old bow schematic 2s, I can then upgrade it to the epic version and then legendary version. So let's just say you've been playing this game for ages and you have 50 of these old bow schematic 1s. You could just keep using this one to be able to get 5 of these, and then use those 5 to create this one. So you can just pretty much get rid of all of your spare recipes. For instance, if I go down here, I have 5 of the Hexalite helmet schematic 1s to use, and I'm actually wearing that helmet right now here. So now I can legitimately make a new helmet. I didn't even know I had these, to be honest. So let's just do that now. Start production. Let's see how quick it's. Oh, it's made instantly as well. So now that I have that, I can go here and I can go to this here, Hexalite helmet, and start production, and then get all my fellas here to start building it. Wow, that builds slow. So one thing I'm interested in here is if my cosmetic stays when I equip this. It does. So it is basically just transmog, which is incredible. I love that. So I can look however I want to look, and this is my new look now. Is my little Xenolord light plasteel armor. Woohoo! There is other little changes which I'll talk about towards the end of the video, but first and foremost, let's now go and look at the global PALBOX. So it is automatically added to your PAL building section, and oh god, that's bigger than I thought it would be. So let's bring up Anubis and let's build this. Oh, it builds instantly as well. Okay, players can save the genetic data of the PALs as well as reconstruct PALs from the saved genetic data. Saved genetic data can also be transferred to other worlds. However, more than one PAL with the same genetic data cannot exist in the same world. So you are essentially picking your best PAL, sending it over into the, you know, into the ether, and then you pick it up in your other world, which is what I'm going to do now. So let's just say, for instance, we go to work suitability level. I have a whole bunch of Anubises that I don't really care about too much. So let's just say we drop you in because he's a workaholic. Then also as well, we can drop like a Blazamut Ryu back in there like that. Now your one stays in your actual game. So you're basically making a copy of your PAL. Wow, my Ozarks are really bad. I need to give birth to some. So for instance, this Phalaris Aqua, I can drop it in. I actually have enough of them, so I don't need to. Oh wow, that's cool. So it will say new genetic data to be overwritten. What does that mean? Oh, okay. Is it stuck in there now forever? Can I not get rid of it? Oh, choose for deletion. Okay, so you can choose for deletion down here in the bottom left, and then you can select the one you want and then delete them. So it will delete it from the box, but not from your original game. That's actually very important to know. So I need probably a saline. Let's just drop a couple of them in. You can go right, boom, 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 boom. And we also have a whole bunch of Xenolords. So let's just throw you in as well. Why did it go over there? Okay, so we sort them. These are the pals that I'm going to drop over into my other world. So let's do that now. You can also see your global PALBOX on the main menu as well, which is cool. So let's start a game. Let's go into my other world that I use just for building buildings for videos. And we'll drop some pals in there, which, you know, this whole type of system needed to be in the game a long time ago though, because this allows me now, if I wanted to start a whole new world again and start from the start for whatever reason, I now can take some pals with me and make the start of the game a little bit less boring. For instance, you know, like, you know, getting your mounts that you want to run around on earlier on, and then just unlocking the technology, and that's great. Oh god, it's all kicking off. I don't know why, but whenever I spawn into this world, a lot of them just get stuck here, and I have to either pick them up and throw them to get them to go do what they need to do, or force them through this to go and work on a specific thing. So that's pretty annoying. If you did not see this build, by the way, I uploaded a video on it the other day. It's my bridge build, which I'll very quickly show you because I love it so much. It's probably the most favorite thing that I've done in terms of building. You know, I kept all the pillars in for something aesthetic. So if you haven't checked that out, find the video and check it out. But I'm going to come over here because there's a little bit more space. Get off the jet wagon. And we're going to build another global box. Boom. Put it here. Bang. So now I can just literally right click them. Oh, that's sick. So now they are here. I've already done that. So I don't 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Someone's missing. Oh, the Xenolord. Right. And then we can go to the PALBOX. I'm assuming. Where did I put my PALBOX? Oh, yeah, here. Boom. And then we can sort it by that little symbol. And then we got them all here. So I can now bring out this Anubis. That is pretty cool. Where you going, bud? Let's just bring all the other ones in just for fun. I just brought out a random one for no reason. Oh, I love it. I love it so much. This is the best thing they've ever added to the game. I love it. You know, being able to start another world now, play on hard or something, or just like change the settings up so it's on like a hard mode. I love it. It's pretty cool. So the good thing about that with the genetic copying is that if I find a pal in my build world that I capture and he's got perfect perks off the bat, or like a perk that I want to breed with, I can then just copy it over and use my breeding farm here to legitimately just get the best pals possible. It's just going to cut down so much time and give you such a good quality of life. These guys are breeding so fast. I didn't realize my settings were set to that. But there are some other things that we just want to talk about briefly with all the changes and stuff. And first and foremost, one of them is the buildings can now be placed even if they overlap with pals, as we know. But the next thing is when connecting foundations or roofs, the connected pieces will now be automatically aligned in the same direction. So if we go here and we look at my foundations here, one is pointing this way, one is pointing that way. Now it should be in the same direction as the first one you place. So let's go and test that theory with some wooden foundations. So we go boom. Okay, perfect. Yeah, that is absolutely perfect. I wish I had this before I built all this base because it would have looked a lot nicer and neater. Boom, boom, boom. Get rid of all of you. So that's a pretty cool update as well. We've got assigning an ice pal to a flea market will slow the decay of their item, which I don't do anyway. So, you know, I don't need flea markets, but it is essentially just going to be like an ice pal who sits on the food box, who's probably just going to be sitting at the flea market table. There's another one saying we can now sit on chairs and cushions, but I've been doing that for ages, so I don't understand what that is about. Maybe there's like pre-placed chairs. I guess this is a stool, but now, you know, say I'm in a town somewhere and there's a chair, maybe I can sit on it. Maybe that's what it means. Some weapons that dealt ultra high damage to trees no longer drop items, so like the trees won't drop a whole bunch of wood. I don't know why they've done that. Maybe it just causes lag and stuff. Let's have a look at some of these perks. I need runner, infinite stamina, and then the other speedy things. Ah, this is not good. This is not fun. Why can't you just give me a perfect Xenolord for crying out loud? So they've added new NPCs as well, and NPCs will be better AI when you're talking to them. They're going to perform different things better, and also as well, all the ones that gave you items will then reset their items. So all those technology books and stuff that you've picked up from various NPCs, you could probably go back and do it again, which is pretty goddamn cool. I'll probably make a video on that. But yeah, so my Xenolords are not being birthed with good perks. I think I need to change up the parents. Right, so there are a lot of other fixes and changes to like increasing DPS with Flamethrower, adding water attribute to Doom Mud, etc. So if you're interested in all that kind of stuff, I will link it down below. However, there is one important change which I am going to love if it's very noticeable, is that they have added torches to the outside of dungeons so that you can see them better at night. So I know there's a dungeon just here, so I'm going to fly over normally and see if I can see the flames, for instance. And I don't think I can. Okay, I can just barely see them from here. So it's not that drastic of a change. Like, I really see, for them to even show, even on my PC, I have to be way closer to it. So I'm very sad about that. They could have just, specifically for the feybreak DLC, they could have just added more of these red rocks around so you can literally just see where it is. These are not that big of a deal, and I'm very, very sad about that. But anyway, that's all the updates and stuff, or at least most of the updates and stuff and things that I'm very excited about. So let me know what you're thinking down below in the comment section. Thank you for watching. I've been easy now. You guys have been awesome.